that are like a little bit before my time. Time Sifter is really sweet though. So probably up against Oops all spells, huh? Seems to be making a resurgence. So I guess I can go Cauldron the next turn. And Cauldron kind of just like beats them, right? Can they beat a Cauldron? Let's find out. Oh, okay, they can Thoughtseize my Cauldron. Man, I really want to see if Cauldron was good enough. Oops, all spells has to be nuts against 4-color. I mean, yeah, like all combo decks are good against 4-color. It's like, oh, they didn't take it. Okay, let's find out. They think they can beat it. They maybe just don't realize. Wake up for the 4th Cauldron. I'm down to 0 rings, 22 lands. Enough green cards for forcing the sideboard. We're up to 14 post board, right? Including the other forces. It's like a little low, but it's mostly fine. All right, let's find out. Oh, okay. Cast and Grief. Yeah, I want to use the Cauldron to snipe the Salvage Titan and snipe the Oracle. That's the plan, at least. They're probably feeling great. The deck's called Hardened Scales. I got to discard 2 Hardened Scales. They're dead. If they have 4 Narco, 3 Sword, they can probably beat it. But don't they just deck themselves? What am I missing? Because they can natural draw the Salvage Titan. Okay, so... Oh, by the way, Oops All Spells is back because now you have like 12... 4-mana win the game cards. It's a pretty complicated deck. Okay, it's really... I guess they just realized that they messed up. I guess they just realized that they messed up. Because why would they not go for it here unless they knew the Cauldron stopped them? But also, why do they have the ring in their deck? They can Phasma the Titan to the yard, but don't you just respond to the... Oh, you're saying that if they have enough things to sack, they can activate Titan twice. I see. Guess that's fair. Second Zabaz. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna grab Shadowspear and equip it. And then next turn I could go Zabaz, infinite counters on the Patchwork. Why not have Belcher as a target? I wouldn't be. I'm kind of surprised they don't. We have 12 4-mana win cards. Beseech, Balustrade Spy, and Undercity Informer. I guess I can't double Zabaz next turn unless I draw a land. That's okay though. Oops, forgot to attack. They're still dead next turn if they don't go for it, right? Because I get to go 8 power, cast this, 10 power. They take a 2 and they take 2. I'm not sure what my Belcher price tag is, Magus, but for you, double. Double whatever it would be. So, Pinhead Prism? What do we cut for the 4th Cauldron? It's kind of got the rings one. What do you have Fable in their deck? What am I missing here? How are they Oops All Spells? How do they have room for all this? Is it impossible to play an Agatha corrects for 2 mana? Yep. I think so. It has to replace itself mana-wise. They have to, like, sack mana neutral. Yeah, Oops All mid-range. What opponent's playing? I mean, I'm assuming they're playing Oops All Spells. They sure have played a lot of good cards. Instead of the usual... Okay, we win if we draw a land. I think they can survive if we don't. Yeah, they have to block with both, though, right? Yeah, then they go to 1. I also gain 10, which makes it kind of tough for them to kill me. Guess we also won if we drew a 0-drop, huh? What's so funny is, like, they could have just won if they thought seized this. Okay, draw 3. Probably should have done that before the Fable loot. Doesn't matter a lot. They didn't need to double block. They did because of the ring damage. Also, shout out to Shadowspear over stupid fucking Basilisk Collar. I hate that. Starting to hate Basilisk Collar, how much it's suggested. It's just, your patchworks are just so good, but they get so much worse if you have Collar instead. Yeah, just down to 1 jar also. Kind of want, like, the first mites. Do you want the Shadowspear? Okay, I'm gonna cut the Patchworks. Second 2-mana Ozolith. 1-mana Ozolith. Don't want Second Needle. Do I want Second Needle? Because I mostly just, like, want to name Belcher, I think. I can name Belcher and Undersea Informant, but it's kind of tough. Like, that's not really a good plan against them, I think, because of the Beseech. 6 cyber cards is also already a lot. Just by both Spear and Collar. Could get a counter maybe, like times Shadowspear is better than Spear or something. I'm not gonna mulligan this. Are the Force of Vigors for some particular deck? Titan and Hammer. Yeah, let's play Saga turn 1, I think. Is naming their win cons better than just killing them? No, but like what Urza Saga target just kills them? What are we talking about? I think there's very few things in Magic that are better than just killing them, but a lot of times you need to buy a turn by like needling Belcher or like, you know, just that actually, just needling Belcher. Okay, I'm gonna look for a Tormod's Crypt here. A little slow. Probably dead. Sometimes they don't have an untapped land. Oh, awesome. The Oops All Spells experience from can't win to can't lose. This Fable plan is really freaking me out, though. Okay, I think I get Tormod's Crypt. Maybe my life total matters less than theirs at this point. How's the Tron matchup? I think you're unfavored against Tron. It's really, really good if you know the matchup, though, so you can just, like, mulligan to a really fast hand against them. Because a lot of times what happens is you keep, like, a slower, grindier hand because you don't know you're up against Tron, lose game 1, and then lose the game 3 on the draw. Yeah, we got really crushed. Wait. Iron Crack Feet? What is happening? Yeah, we got really crushed by, or with eggs. Let's see if you use Zabaz into Zabaz. So you legend rule them, and then you get to modular onto your remaining Zabaz, or whatever you want to modular onto, with an extra counter due to Zabaz's static ability. Yeah, or 3/3 no scale, 6/6 if scales. Bit of an easier way to say that. Isn't that just Belcher? No, Belcher doesn't play, like, all of this stuff, you know what I mean? They might get a Belcher off this Besiege. Oh, I guess Ironcrag Feet is a Besiege target when they draw their Belcher. But I think that they're just gonna die. I think that we can kill them here. What the fuck? Wow. I have not been culling ritualed in a while. Is Talisman good in Belcher if it plays Besiege? The mana is just so tough to like play triple red, all the red stuff, and all the black stuff, I think. Yeah, can't lose, can't win. Can't lose, can't win. That's cool, though. I love that. So dead to another Besiege or Battle Street Spy Informant. Char Belcher delays the inevitable. I'm going to make them show me how they sideboarded, though. Did we ping? Oh, sorry, I forgot to ping. Oh, I also gave them the mana to cast the Belcher this turn. I guess they could have still cast it. I was too stunned. Okay, one Charbelcher. They boarded a bunch of Charbelchers. Oh, they're like completely off of the Oopsal Spells plan, if they're even in on it at the first place. Yeah, okay, I'm still gonna play one Tormod's Crypt. Let's bring in some more Belcher hate. Oh, I meant to cut the Shadowspear last time. Oops. Yeah, they also have Hidden Sugu. Pretty scary. Double Caverns on the play kind of sucks. Seems like I can't really mulligan this hand, though. Why is Besiege so much money? Is it played in Standard or something? Cards are not expensive because they're played in Standard. They're expensive because they're played in EDH. If you're ever wondering why is a card expensive, the answer is almost always EDH. I think I like the jar here. It's kind of close. Maybe play my Mite this turn, hold up mana. Let's play the Cauldron. This is BRB Meds Delivery. It's a good reason, I suppose. Pet Lucy, who just likes the dog bed, not being over here. Depends, right? Group Simpson play, EDH play, most of it's driven by modern. Yeah. But like the question was, does it see play in Standard? No, it says it's a EDH. Like usually, it's like these confusing cards, right? The confusing cards that are expensive. It's not because they're good in like constructed formats necessarily. It's more so EDH. Besiege is also like a good legacy card, I think. See some play in modern. So it's also a card that people kind of just generally believe to be good. You know what I mean? Put the dog bed on the couch next to me. Yeah, the problem is I have two dog beds. One of them is like this little chair for Lucy. That one's on the floor. Do you think Meddling Mage on a 1 or 2 CMC colors artifact would be OP? I don't think it'd be a good design. There's a difference between not a good design and OP, I suppose. I'm not gonna. I don't want to Haywire Mite this. I want to be able to Haywire Mite a. I want to be able to Mite a Belcher next turn, seeing how they sideboarded. I have Cauldron up to stop like a neutral spells potentially. Yeah, the couch setup has been pretty fun so far. If they like Beseech for Culling Ritual, it isn't exactly great for me, but I get to like sack here to Ravager, protection. This is why I only play one Cavern Maid, one Cavern Side. I think the upside's outweigh the downside, but yeah, it's not a decision point I want to fight you on. I think it's pretty reasonable. Let's see, so they have 6 mana next turn, so I will have to Mite the Pinhead Prism or something to stop them from killing me with Belcher next turn, potentially. Could also go, like... I guess I can't... I could double Mite. So I think I just have to do this. And then I also have to really... I have to think for a second about if I want to Cauldron or sack Zabaz on my turn. So if I go Zabaz, sack Zabaz, 4, 6, sack for 6. I can 15 them this turn. If I can 15 them this turn, I can just do 15 next turn without having to commit anything else. Mite is in speed activation, yeah, but if we're targeting mana, we want to just do it sorcery speed, I think. Okay, so next turn I go Zabaz. 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Okay, so I think I have to sack Zabaz this turn. And then we can hold up the Cauldron activation just in case they still are on or they slide it back into rather an Oops All Spells plan. Although I don't know, like, can they even? They didn't have it. I think they probably are just Belcher because, like, how do you slide out Narcomoeba Sword? Okay, maybe you can. Creeping Chill, Narcomoeba Sword, Vengevine. No, it's just too many slots. So I guess they're just like not even on Belcher at all. If they have Beseech, I'm done. No, because if why? Because I have Welding Jar for like a culling ritual, or this. What are they doing? Do I beat anything if I regen? Oops usually plays 1 or 2 Belchers. Yeah, but we saw their deck. They didn't have like any of the Oops All Spells targets. Is what I'm saying. I guess not really much point in activating the Cauldron yet. Not a really big difference between making this 10 or 11 power. Feels nice to beat a Hidetsugu. The card usually ends the game against Scales. Okay. One of the worst Furies I've ever seen. Let's see what the plan is. I guess if they have Scam Fury, Evoke Fury, that's theoretically enough damage, but like I just have my Cauldron up here. So glad I didn't tap the Cauldron, I guess. Eggs went really poorly. Yeah, Scam Fury hit Hitsugu pretty bad against the creature-based aggro deck. Challenge this weekend probably. Unless, you know, our brains get blown by something else. Yeah, I've been really wanting to play the deck in a challenge. I've just been busy on the weekends. Don't need to think too much about sequencing yet, because there's just like, depends so much what the matchup is. I think I need to play a Ravager so I can put some pressure on a possible Grist here. Seems like a land will be pretty dang important to draw. What's the magic number for Gemstone? I mean, just fucking depends on what deck you're playing. I would. There's just like not like formula for how many magic cards to put in a deck usually. Like, there is like for like land accounts for like standard Pioneer type mana bases, but like modern mana base requirements are so weird. Like you're playing Urza Saga decks, you have all these spells that have like alternate casting cost, you have access to cantrips, card selection. There just like isn't a formula for like how many cards to play in modern decks usually. And if there is a formula, there's always an exception. Very, very difficult to answer those kind of questions. What mono blue is? I think I'm going to play the Patchwork version over the Urza or the Incubation Druid splash. Although we do need to give Incubation Druid another go, I think, since like we played one league of it, we 4-1 and the deck looked great. It would feel a little bit weird to just like forever abandon that build. Can play Soul Cauldron, I guess. Mostly as a way to break up their combo if they play Yawgmoth next turn. Is War Elemental forever abandoned? Hopefully not. I did enjoy War Elemental. So if we draw a land, we may have a win here. I guess we don't. So I was thinking I could go Scales, Animate Nexus, sack Ravager, and then they -1 counter, and then I Cauldron onto Inkmoth. It's just not enough, though. So I guess I have to go like Scales, Ravager. Preferred Urza, Patchy, or Druid. I preferred Patchwork, I think. Patchwork was really good. I mean, we've done so many mono blue Cauldron streams, but like maybe I do need to do like We could do like a stream like on Friday or tomorrow where we just do one of each, like hammer it out, like update each list and then hammer it out. Could lose still, but if I was building Enchantress, Binding would be a no-brainer. I would probably play Leyline Binding. It's not a no-brainer though. Like, you're not amazing at facilitating the domain, and like you are often a Blood Moon deck. Yeah, no-brainer would not be the term I'd use, I guess. Yeah, the eggs were rotten, unfortunately. I think I still generally prefer Omtanice. Yeah. Omtanice is pretty good. You can play both. It's not a no-brainer, but probably something I'd play. So unlikely that they would have a Chord of Calling if they are making this attack. So Zabaz here lets me counter 3 -1s on my Ravager, right? Oh, I just give the Ravager flying. Never mind, this is easy win. I'm so used to like just not using the flying mode on Zabaz that some of these Cauldron lines with it have been kind of invisible to me, I guess. But Beans and Enchantress? I mean, that doesn't seem like you have enough things to enable it. You could though. Nexus kills. Nexus doesn't kill. They kill by Nexus, more like. Am I right? So if I go animate Nexus, play Zabaz, sack Zabaz modular, they -1. I sack Ravager in response, they -1. I Cauldron in response, they -1, and then my Zabaz is dead. Could they Chord for endurance? Well, I think if they had Chord, we would have heard about it already. You know what I mean? But they also can't. Flying Arcbound Ravager. You can animate Inkmoth, threaten it, make them act. How do we make them act? The only way they make them act is when we start to put counters on it. They can just ignore it, right? We have to make the first move and we lose the chess trade. How to add white? Cauldron, Soul Cauldron has a weird line of text that says, you may spend mana as though it were mana of any color to activate abilities of creatures you control. Chord for Goose? Yeah, Chord for Goose would get the job done, but I don't think they have Chord, and because they wouldn't have attacked with Yawgmoth, and I don't think that they are super likely to have Chord. But that would be like, yeah, it's like the weird corner case. Okay, so usually in these out the Patchworks. They leave a Patchwork in. Get the second Ozolith on the draw. Ozolith. Cast Zabaz, animate Inkmoth, sack Zabaz Ravager, modular Zabaz onto Inkmoth, force their hand. No, and pivot onto Flying Ravager. I mean, but how is that different from just Flying Ravager? It also doesn't lose to anything. We desire the Jar for Force. I haven't loved Jar in the matchup. It's probably okay to bring in one Mite for their Cauldrons. I usually just kind of prefer to like Cauldron their Cauldrons. I think you're right though. I think we should have a Jar. Like, give Cauldron to fight their Cauldrons. You could theoretically Needle it. Is Hangarback better than Patchwork? Yeah, I think so. Like, it gives you flying creatures, which is super important in this matchup. Okay, I think we're pitching a Zabaz. Yeah, you're right about the Jar. Okay, I think I'm happy enough to Ballista the Hierarch here, especially because I have the Cauldron for the Ballista. Kind of scared if they have their own Cauldron, maybe. Yeah, I think Goose... I've never really been a Goose guy when it comes to Yawgmoth. Maybe we have some Goose guys in the chat. Smith, 26. Can this deck work in Pioneer? Okay, so there's no Walking Ballista, but there is Walking Ballista at Home. Maybe someone can help with the name of the card. It's from Guilds of Ravnica. It's a artifact that enters with X counters. X is the number of colors of mana spent to cast it, and it is a Chamber Sentry, I think. You can play Chamber Sentry and spend you can tap it, spend X mana, remove X counters, deal X damage. That card is awful. I would really recommend not playing it. Okay, I really want to go for the Fulminator plan. It just seems so juicy here. I just can't help myself. I don't know if this is correct. In fact, it feels very likely to just definitely not be correct. I can blow up a land here at least. It's very tempting to blow up too. It does seems incorrect, but so tempting. Triskelion. Well, Triskellion's not Pioneer legal either, right? Also kind of a pain to get into the yard. You should have pinged for 2. I don't think so. I think it's better to just have the counters on the Ravager. I still can use those counters to ping. Like I want to be moving those counters over to the Ravager with modular. Okay, well, this is a fun game for someone involved. Okay. I like that Saga's 3 creatures here. They probably should have Boseiju this, actually. Maybe not. Do they have anything? Not a bad draw. Gonna Stone Raid them in their upkeep here. We have Bowmaster. Do you maybe exiling your own yard with no targets? Yeah, there's enough creatures. And then turning our future stuff into Ravagers seems good. The Scales tier 1. I don't think it's tier 1 as far as popularity goes. I think that for me it's my #1 tournament choice deck. It's like there's not a different deck that I would rather play at a tournament at the moment. Well, they're letting me Stone Raid them again here. Although this will be my last one, I guess. One more for the road. It's actually, like, maybe just not even correct to do this, but I really want to, so, like, I am. I really shouldn't have, but I really wanted to. Is it Mono Blue Conjure my favorite choice? Well, I'm going to play it in the challenge this weekend because I haven't played it in the challenge, but I have so many more reps with Scales. Like, Scales is still my, like, tournament deck of choice. Okay, reasonable pickup. I think Yogg and Scales are the best 2 decks in the format. I mean, I think that Scales Scales, Bean, Omnath, and Scam are probably the best decks. The problem with Yawgmoth is you have a bad matchup against Omnath and Scam. But what's good about Scales is like Scales, in addition to being like good against the field as a whole, is good against Scam and is good against Omnath, despite being a creature-based deck. It's just so resilient. Yeah, it is. It's probably a good game for them to be flooded when I stun raid them so many times, huh? Any changes to the green-black food deck? Not really. Pretty far away from wanting to change much about that deck. Honestly, it feels pretty hammered out at this point. Maybe some sideboard plans could change at some point. Yeah, Scales beats Hammered. Scales is good against Hammer. It's hard to play. It's okay. If I'm getting heated, it's okay for chat to get heated sometimes too. Just all part of the process. I remember usernames of people who, who I've been friends with on stream for a long time, but I don't remember. When I said I remember usernames, I don't remember usernames of people I was fighting with. I don't even read it when I'm yelling at somebody. I just read the comment. It's never personal. You know what I mean? I'm never like stewing like disgruntled Alk was yelling at me about Hammer all stream. Just never really remember. Yeah, Scales is bad against Karn decks, and Scales is bad against oh, this is a good draw. Scales is bad against Karn decks, and it's bad against Mill, and bad against Titan, which is sometimes a Karn deck, but not very often. Do you want a Cauldron here, I think. And then I'm not really ever blocking anything, so let's attack. Although sometimes I'm like, I probably yelled a little bit too much on stream. I'm sure that happened once. So if I Cauldron now, I'm kind of bad against Bowmasters. I think I could afford to play around Bowmasters here. Also seems pretty good to maybe just make a token and try to double block, and then I can go Ravager, Patchwork next turn, I guess in the opposite order. Scales is surprisingly fun against Mono Black Karn. Yeah, I don't know. I think you're not favored, but you can win. Like, you only really get crushed in this deck against Mill. I think every other matchup, especially with the Force of Negation plan, we've got a pretty good plan against everything. What's the best resource for Hammer, specifically Blue-White Hammer? I don't know if Disgruntled Elk does Blue-White Hammer, but I know Disgruntled Elk was probably the premier Hammer content guy at the moment. Oh yeah, sorry. I don't know why I was thinking that that was gonna work. Oops. Oopsie doopsie. Yeah, I'm still not a believer that Steel Overseer is optimal in this deck. I don't think that it's particularly bad either. Like there's certainly plenty of worse cards you can play, but I have a hard time imagining playing Overseer in any of the flex spots, including me not really thinking that Ancient Stirrings are a flex spot in the first place. That being said, like I think it's like a certainly a very reasonable stance to think it's correct to play. Like I don't think it's optimal. I think it's worse than like every other option, but it's not worse by like a lot. Like you can register it and win with it. It's fine. But it's just outside the realm of where I want to be. Yeah, I agree that it's a very fun card. Is this going to be another point for Shadowspear? I guess not that different. The +1/+1 is different. Probably should have done that on Zabaz, I guess. Not a huge difference. Is the appeal of Overseer they could turn a bunch of Saga tokens into Cauldron bearers? I don't know. It's like... Yeah, the appeal is Agatha's Soul Cauldron, but... I don't think there's like a ton more thought after that, to be honest. Maybe a little bit. So remember, we don't get modular because of the with the Fury in play. Not really any point to like sack or anything here. We can go to the 6/6, 7/7. Yeah, so the Fury is not enough to block it, which is nice. Am I going to revisit Mono White Heliod Ballista? I've been kind of stuck on it. I'm actually like even thinking about playing up the Beanstalk in that deck, weirdly. Over the One Ring. I had like a kind of updated list that I'm like currently not super happy with. I can also just fly over, potentially. Let's see, so they have 12 power, seems super safe if I just go Ballista on 1, flying till end of turn, animate for an extra point of power. When I get flying, I'm probably a little bit delayed. Super Construct. So terminate or bust from my opponent. No terminate? They've busted. Any recommendations for researchers learning scales? Well, I have a lot of content on my YouTube channel. I recommend maybe going through. I feel like my resources are not super good for like reading and learning necessarily. I think Mr. Sari MTG has a like really comprehensive like manifesto if you're looking for that kind of stuff. I've been kind of like tentatively wanting to put like a free article on the deck out somewhere, but I'm just so fucking busy. Like I'm like moonlighting as a Night City legend right now. It's very, very time consuming. Twitch.tv/MRSERI, right? Oh, Mr. Sari MTG, right? Yeah, I would usually not recommend deck discords, but if you can get into the Hardened Scales Discord, could you please ask them to unban me? That would be great. Yeah, I haven't actually even played any Cyberpunk since like Thursday? Ugh. No spike your permaband? I know. What can I do? Yeah, I've been really enjoying the Cyberpunk 2.0. It's been good. Hope you enjoy playing Shift. Yeah, I'm gonna wait a turn on the Zabaz so we can modular over to the Inkmoth if it dies. What did they ban? I'm not actually banned. It's a bit. Is it a funny bit? Not really. Yeah, I agree. Cyberpunk was already one of my favorite games, and it's just like cool to see them like get into its final form, and it's just such a sick game. What is it they hit at Sugu? It's non-land, right? Yeah, I can still modular on Inkmoth. I think. Is that what they're thinking about? Might be. It's so hard for them to not slam it. Top swamp on tap. How do you organize all the different deck ideas I've been working on? Well, I have like a sticky note sometimes of new ideas. I need to delete a bunch of stuff off that. But for the most part, like, because I just try to do something new every day, like that's always the goal. Is EE bugged? It might still be. I thought they fixed the EE bug. Did they get bugged again? But like for the most part, because I'm trying to do something new every day, I don't have to do a lot of idea organizing because I just try to work on the ideas as they come. And then sometimes when things are taking like a long time to work on, I'm still working on them every day. So, oh, you just have E and Hitotsugu. I don't think that they're trolling me. Okay, I don't think that they're trolling me, but like, is E bugged? Okay, that's Hitotsugu. That being said, neither kind of stop me from doing this. They have to have Terminate again or Blood Moon, Alpine Moon. I thought they fixed the bug though. Fatal Push, I guess, would do work also. We might be 2-0 against Hitotsugu. 2-0 against Hitotsugu. Let's go. 3-0 overall. Man, feels good to be playing a good deck. I missed the dono. $50. You will stay banned until you write the article. Okay, Scales Discord. Sounds like I'm staying banned forever. Thank you for the $50. Alright, I'm gonna lead on Patchy here. My opponent's playing more than 60 cards, so they're pretty clearly 4-color Omnath. This is one kind of weird thing about Modern Leagues versus Paper Modern right now, is you immediately know that your opponent's on Omnath before anything happens. In Paper, it's like, I don't think super realistic to see that their deck size is a little bit bigger. You know, that they're on 66, 64, something like that. When in Paper, it's like immediately apparent, which ends up being a little weird, right? What am I doing? You can ask. So, like, I guess that's what I'm saying is, are you supposed to ask? Do you just sit down every single game one, say what's the size of your library? Is that like are you just spewing win percentage if you don't? That's kind of what I'm asking. I think the answer is yeah. You probably just should be right now. Scales is a damn good pickup here. I think I get the Ozolith. It's kind of close though. Between that and another Zabaz. I guess I get another Zabaz. This way I have something for my Cauldron to do. Why ask for deck count? Because if they tell you their library size is above 60, if they tell you their library size is like 64, 67, you just know they're on Omnath. And you get to know that for your mulligan decisions, where if you are lazy and you don't ask, then you're not getting that information. So I want to modular more here, so keep this one. Could be Oops. I mean, it's much more likely that they're Omnath instead of Oops. They don't have Solitude, they go to 1. Okay. Very tough for them to win at 1 life. Are they required to give that information? Yes, they are. They can't say, I'm not fucking telling you, dude. Get a search warrant! Get a search warrant and I'll tell you my library size, brother. Yeah, they have to tell you. So you should play 1 Needle against them, sometimes 2. I think I'm gonna cut a Cauldron. They have a lot of exile-based removal. Did I already cut the Shadowspear? I did, okay. Already cut my land for the Cavern. Cut the second Ozolith. Or, yeah, I'm just gonna do 1 Needle. Think about it some more. Yeah, I'm a sovereign citizen. I don't have to tell you my library size. I'm immune from the rules of Magic the Gathering. Classic 1 land Cavern hand. Such a beautiful hand, though. I'm like pretty tempted to keep this one. I'm gonna mulligan though. Give you that 7 back. Okay. An RC guy refused to tell, had to call a judge to get the manual count. That's funny. Another thing about ancient stirrings, you have more of these one land capable cavern hands. Or I talk about library sizes. So if you ask your opponent their library size at the beginning of a game, like a lot of Omnath players are playing like between 60 and 70 cards main deck, and so you just can ask basically, are you playing that Omnath variant before you get to make your mulligan decision. So maybe you should only be asking if you're playing, if your hand is like specifically a hand that feels bad to do this, but I think you just have to leave on Patchwork in these kind of spots, and hopefully the ring can draw us out of this. But you're just kind of throwing away information if you don't, is the thing. Yeah, and then also, okay, you're also kind of bluffing that you're on mill. You're also kind of bluffing that you're on mill, which is like weirdly value too. Queued for any PTs? I'm queued for the RC in Atlanta. I haven't played any RC queues for Denver. Not queued for any PTs. Okay, maybe just go to game 3. It's up from Mold to 5, right? Play that a little bit more. If I draw a land, I get to go like activate Hangarback Walker, Zabaz, activate blow up Hangarback Walker, get 4 constructs. That's, enough to like play out a turn or 2. I don't think the Decklist rank no one ring. Are there one rings in the sideboard? I do think I have the wrong file. Yeah, this was it should basically be just 2 jars for 2 rings. Okay, I'm gonna go to game 3 here. Did I not bring in Haywire Mite? What am I doing? Rusty with Scales, just realized. Do you have to figure out the sideboard plans again a little bit? What am I cutting? Maybe cut a Hangarback. The stirrings. Honestly, maybe we just go down to 21, which is weird, but I think I'd rather have the 4th stirrings over the 2nd caverns. Let's just try this. Okay, on the play. With a keep, so we're gonna probably turn 1's drum into Ballista, or if we're lucky, draw a better 2-drop into stirrings. I promise I had nothing to do with the being against Ghost Discord. Okay, maybe I'll actually join the Hardened Scales Discord if you ban me immediately after. That'd be kind of funny. The Spike way of doing things, because they are almost kind of funny. Why do you not recommend joining deck discords? I mostly like, it's mostly banter. It's fine. If you feel like it's something, I've never joined one, and I'm just kind of like personally enjoy doing my own thing and working on my own. But it's also that there's also like a dynamic of like for me, it's I engage with like my chat, I engage with Twitter. So for me, I just don't feel like deck discords is something I would get a lot out of, but I really can't tell you what it's like. I've never joined one. I've never really been super interested in joining one. They could be great. So I think I might go like Ballista into Cauldron and then don't do anything. It's a little bit weird, right? Because I think I should probably just get a counter. The thing is, like, this is a lot worse against second Ridden 6, when I could just be like, if they had minus on the Ballista, I put a counter. If they plus on a land, I exile the land. But then I have a harder time killing it. I don't know. It's like kind of close. Maybe not as close as I'm thinking. I wonder if they target the binding. Probably this Cauldron. Which I can Haywire Mite if I want. Oh, well. Interesting. So I guess I get Zabaz now. I need to think about, yeah, I think I'm just going to grow my Ballista here. Yeah, well, yeah, I think maybe the whole, like, Discord banter stuff goes back to, like, the Burn Discord was, like, very adamant. They, like, were big, firm believers that Lurrus was suboptimal. And probably some of them still believe that to this day. Second binding into pending, pretty dang good. Fuck, dude. How could Lurrus be subtotal burn? It just like couldn't was the thing. Like that is a good question to ask, but the answer is it was, there was just like no way it was suboptimal. It was just like just a 15th sideboard card. And it was relevant in, like, a lot of matchups, too. Okay, draw a card. Ravager, Scales, both nice. Take that, I guess. I think it's better to just put a counter on main phase. Pretty close game. Yeah, it was forgot to attack. I need to make that funnier when I don't attack because of ring protection. I need to figure out a way to make that funnier. It's simply too good. All right, we're mostly hoping to dodge an Omnath here. Like if they just tap the ring and don't have Omnath, the game is basically over. Unless they have like another ring, maybe, but even that, like they have to also have an answer to this. If they do play Omnath, I really don't want to have to ping it to death. I probably will have to do it though. If there's a green-red canopy land when I play 4 in Scales, probably not 4. Like your life total does matter a good amount. Oh, what is this? Bring to light. I think so if they get Omnath, they do get Omnath. Maybe I just have to dodge the Solitude, which they haven't played any yet. So kill Omnath. I have 2 counters on my Ballista. I get to go put a counter, Zabaz a counter. I kill them, so you know we can beat the turn 2 Ridden 6 Beanstalk double binding pending Boseiju Ridden 6, or sorry, Wandering Omnath, but we just can't beat the Solitude. Surprised they get a Valky. They're just dead if they got Valky. What do you? They do still have their land drop, I guess. Can't beat the Solitude. It's kind of likely they had it. They got to draw a lot of cards. I mean, we could... I don't know. The game is not over, but... The thing is we've already used 2 of our 3 Cauldrons. They boarded 1 out against all the exile-based removal, which is maybe not correct, but... what happens if we draw a Ravager? Ravager is 2... It's... Yeah, not quite lethal. Wait, hold on. Ravager is lethal. Is another Ballista lethal? Holy shit. Okay, so I can go attack for 1, Ballista 2, ping. Oh, I put them to 1? Come on. Come on. They have a ring? I'm counting the ring damage. Oh wait, no, I'm not. I miscounted. I miscounted! Let's go! I thought they were going to 1 after the ring damage. Let's go. Come on, dude. Yeah, Solitude can't exile and stuff. I guess I should have let it target, though, to play around 3rd Solitude a little bit. So close. Really tough for them to not have a way to either bounce the ring, replay another ring, or find an Omnath. Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of crazy we could beat one Solitude there, just not, you know, after all that. We did have to top deck, of course. Curse Totem, dude! Alright. They came prepared. I do think Omnath, when they when they have, like, dedicated sideboard cards, a lot tougher. Close game, dude. Okay, on the play. I don't think I'm gonna mulligan this. This hand is so insane if it draws a land, and we even have time. I'm not mulliganing double scales, and we could draw. We have 21 lands and 4 Ancient Stirrings. My opponent's going to hand to clean up here. Seemingly and then they conceded. Is this a screenshot? Scales becoming so powerful it just wins on turn 1. just that easy, huh? Alright, I'm just gonna bring in the Cavern on the draw. I'm not gonna change anything else. They obviously just F6 their turn. I don't know if Totem is better than Stirring Silence. So Totem is better against Yawgmoth than it is the Stirring Silences, of course. I think that's the thought. Okay, I'm definitely keeping... What am I putting back? My hand is so good. It's simply too good. I think I pitched the second Scales. Kind of weird. I would consider Gardens as one of my Cauldron decks. I mean, I don't think I would want to copy Cauldron that often. Yeah, not sure exactly what the idea is with that. So we can scam, maybe? It's a pretty funny draw. We had a really, really bad day with eggs, unfortunately. Ah, coffers. So actually double. You don't really want to have double Thoughtseize on your Mold of Fives. TBH. Okay, well they got value out of all 3 of them at least. Good for them. Weird game. This is why Cavern is so good in Saga decks, though. Even if we're lower on resources because we Caverned, but it just doesn't matter. Probably get Springleaf Drum. I think I'll land Damnation. That's kind of the only way they stay alive, and they're still pretty behind, so it feels fine to just do this. Okay, so Fatal Push is weirdly good for me because it means they cannot land Damnation next turn because they have no cards left. They did draw a land this turn, and they can Field of Ruin my Saga. It's kind of their best draw because this allows them again to draw into Damnation or something. Although I don't really know what or something is. Is this lethal? So I go Ozolith, onto the Ozolith. Then I move 3 counters over. So this is going to be plus 5 counters. Put them to 4. Yeah, I think I would rather be able to make another token so I can have pressure in play if they do draw Damnation. Remember, if you have both Ozoliths in play, it's an extra counter if you use the Ozolith to put a mana on the other Ozolith. So it goes add a counter, and then moves again and adds another counter. Okay, so it feels good to do a little bit of winning after getting slaughtered with eggs today. Let's do another Scales League. I think the Scales player, the Scale well has been kind of dry. I'm down to do another one. That was pretty fast league too.